And there's a lot of it, with about 1 in 5 of every commercial office buildings in downtown Boston currently vacant. Federal investment in converting formerly non-residential properties into housing could help more communities expand their housing supply in a way that fits the needs of target populations, like older adults who need accessible.
Over the past 12 months. Inflation is a top concern for all lawmakers, but it's especially burdensome for older Americans. It is why it's important for lawmakers to approve additional relief for seniors and retirees. A trio of bills aimed at cutting property taxes for New Jersey seniors have cleared committee with bipartisan support this week, and the bills introduced by the Assembly Speaker will cut property tax in half for seniors and expand eligibility to certain health benefit programs. The main bill defines the Stay in New Jersey plan as a proposal to address lowering tax costs for seniors to ensure that they stay in New Jersey instead of going to other states where the cost of living is cheaper.
Today, we're accelerating the implementation of the Dependent Care Flexibility Spending Account, which will give military families the option to receive a pre-tax benefit for daycare, preschool, and summer camps, and much more. This order also focuses on providing resources for military spouses or entrepreneurs, like some of the folks up here on the stage who will be here in a moment. That includes exploring new funding options like grants and loans to help military spouses start and sustain their businesses, and developing new resources that are going to make it easier for entrepreneurs to relocate their businesses if they have to PCS. Folks, let me close with this. Next month, we'll celebrate 50 years of the all-volunteer force. At the time, there was some debate about whether or not we could draw in the talent we needed, about whether Americans would answer the call to serve. But 50 years on, we see so clearly all of you who raised your hand, all of you who volunteered, are the reason that our military today is the greatest fighting force in the history of the world, bar none. That's the reason. And the reason we've been able to sustain that force year after year, decade after decade, is because military spouses, caregivers, and survivors have answered the call as well. You have your loved ones' backs, just like they have the country's back. So the only way to keep this force strong for the next 50 after that, we keep our promise. We uphold sacred obligation we bear to our military members, our veterans, our spouses, caregivers, survivors. Today,
Touted this bill, which is called the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act. It would require wages above $400,000 to be taxed for Social Security. Other Democrats also support the idea of making high earners pay a large sum into the program. Representative Larson and the senators introduced the Social Security 2100 Act bill with more than 200 Democratic co-sponsors, calling for applying Social Security payroll taxes to incomes of over $200,000, while also having the wealthy pay taxes on the businesses and income investments as well. Polls have shown that raising Social Security payroll tax is a popular topic with the public. Yet the recent Senate hearing, some leaders and experts questioned what is the right approach to help people out with their American stimulus cash. But so far, Democrats' proposals would actually push the marginal tax rate to over 50%, and many would break Joe Biden's promise not to raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000. Even Grassley argued this. The next cost of living increase for Social Security recipients is projected to be slightly better than previously estimated, but still the lowest in years. The Senior Citizens League predicts that. And also, they have estimated that in mid-June 2024, COLAs could be somewhere around 2.7%, a huge drop-off from 2023's 8.7% increase. And the latest, slightly larger estimate comes despite cooling inflation, which generally has the opposite effect on social asset. And now, in Maine, all recipients of the SNAP program will have their monthly benefits delivered to them by today. SNAP benefits are distributed to eligible residents from the 10th to the 14th of every month, with all beneficiaries scheduled to have their benefits by the month of July by Friday. Now, the next round of SNAP payments will also begin on August 10th. The state of Texas will complete issuing SNAP benefits worth up to $1,700 for a month of July this week. Texas has a long window for issuing payments, lasting through the first 10 days of the month. Even the amount received depends on one family size. A single household will receive $281, and an 8-member household will receive $1,700. But on a federal level, some House representatives want to expand the number of food stamp recipients subject to work requirements and time-limited food benefits. By raising the age of people, members are writing the bill against the backdrop of extraordinary uncertainty in the economy and inflation, including the cost of food is so high that the Federal Reserve is willing to risk a recession to slow the prices down. Economic disruptions are caused by the crisis, and the robust labor market is expected to weaken in the months ahead. The past week, Democrats of the Department of Education announced that it will begin discharging student loan debts for borrowers who've been in repayment for 20 to 25 years under a one-time payment. Around 800,000 borrowers will benefit from this, and there will be $39 billion dropped. Joe Biden said the previous announcement is a one-time adjustment and will become an even more important lifeline for struggling borrowers than repayments start in September. The one-time payment adjustment the Education Department had counts certain months that were previously ineligible towards student loan forgiveness. But now, everybody, the Education Department announced a one-time payment adjustment for all direct loans and federally owned family education loans. Now, the adjustment to student loan accounts will go toward helping borrowers get closer to forgiveness under the income-driven plans. And after this adjustment, people should be getting stimulus payments because the one-time payment adjustment. Social Security is an important part of many Americans' retirement income, especially as people are living longer. But with the full retirement age from 67 to 65, with the cost of living continue to increase, every last penny counts and helps so many people out. So folks, let's get into the most important stimulus news that I want you guys to know, because there's a ton of information that is very important about the fourth stimulus check. And many people associate Social Security with retired Americans. Well, the elderly are especially dependent on the program as well, with almost 9 out of 10 Americans facing this problem. And now, nearly 2/3 of the House has signed into a bill that will boost Social Security to the public sector workers with government pensions who currently see limited return benefits. The bill has gathered around 290 co-sponsors and a threshold that could allow its backers to force a vote on House floor and offer leverage as they work to get through the chamber. Under the House rules, the bills with at least 290 co-sponsors can be put on the consensus calendar, a process that allows rank-and-file members to force widely backed bills to the floor if the committee of jurisdiction won't take it up. It was referred to as Ways and Means on January 9th, and the panel has scheduled a meeting to consider it. Now, according to congressional research data, it would actually aid more than 90,000 people in the state of Louisiana. Even representatives are a notable voice for the GOP conference after helping a broker debt limit agreement on Kevin McCarthy and build consensus among Republican members. But now they're aiming to boost Social Security payments for public workers and government pensions and things like this for people who have jobs covered by Social Security taxes. Now, the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset reduce Social Security payouts and spousal benefits for employees in an effort to avert highly unfair payouts. And groups representing retired teachers, police officers, and state and local employees say the reductions go too far and unfairly punish the public savants. But so far, everybody, here's what Joe Biden has to say about this. The bill would actually rack up 305 co-sponsors in the last Congress under Democratic control of the House, but Ways and Means Committee held a markup as a means of waiting to turn off the consensus calendar. The panel's leaders at the time tried to broker a deal on a scale